प्रचोदयात्।
वं आपदुत्तरणाय अजमालापदाय लोकेश्वराय स्वर्णाकर्षणभैरवाय मम दारिद्र्यविध्वंसनाय श्रीमहाभैरवाय नमः। वं आपदुत्तरणाय अजमालापदाय लोकेश्वराय स्वर्णाकर्षण भैरवाय मम दारिद्र्य विध्वंसनाय श्री महा भैरवाय नमः। वं आपदुत्तरणाय अजमालापदाय लोकेश्वराय स्वर्णाकर्षण भैरवाय मम दारिद्र्य विध्वंसनाय श्री महा भैरवाय नमः। वं आपदुत्तरणाय अजमालापदाय लोकेश्वराय स्वर्णाकर्षण भैरवाय मम दारिद्र्य विध्वंसनाय श्री महा भैरवाय नमः।
He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Manash Mishra.
Oh, सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। शरणागत दीनातं परित्राण परायणी सर्वशाप्ति हरे देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। Om Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhadvet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Aham Brahmasmi. So good morning everyone. स्वागत है आप सभी का to this session. Hope my voice is clear to all. Might be I sounding a little bit different, but that's okay. So the topic that we have taken for this day is, have you seen the topic that Haribhai has taken? Might be because of the questions that were put forth by Vijayji and then followed by others. So I believe, like, as I said, this is going to be a process through which you will not only realize about your own self, but also a process through which you will be able to clearly distinguish between your body and yourself. We keep on tending to forget, right? आप हमेशा ये कहते हो कि आपने जो बताया, we say Aham Brahmasmi, we say that I am the spirit, I am the soul, but again when there is a pain in the body, again back to the same space. So I'm going to combine two different processes together. One that will help you enormously with your health. Enormously means it has the power to transform your health magically. If you start looking young, don't worry. That's part of it. If you start feeling young, that's more important. Don't worry. That's also the part of the process. So rather than just looking young, feeling young is much better, I believe. Again, if you do this process, although it will not happen overnight. जैसे मैं कहता हूँ ना, if you do this process, it just happen like this and you are free of it. No, this process requires sadhana. इसे साधना की जरूरत होती है. It might take, you might see the results within few days, but in order to gain it completely as a permanent state of self or being, it might take a year's time, 2 years' time, might be more. But that's up to you if you really want to do a sadhana of that. लेकिन शायद साधना उसे ही कहते हैं, नहीं? Just like you went to school, you didn't graduated on the first day. आपने शायद 16 साल 18 साल की साधना की, तब जाके आपको ग्रेजुएशन का सर्टिफिकेट मिला, राइट? बट वंस यू बिकेम द ग्रेजुएट, आफ्टर दैट कैन यू बी अंडर ग्रेजुएट? You cannot be. Means you have already achieved something, you have surpassed something. It takes time, but once you surpass it, it is gone. Then that will be a permanent state. But does that mean that it will take 15 years? It will take 3 years? It will take 1 year? I will not even start it. Then no bridge would have been constructed. No house could have been constructed. No greater buildings that have been created could have ever been constructed. Neither you would have gone to school. यार 15 साल पढ़ने के बाद अगर मुझे एक सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, 18 साल पढ़ने के बाद एक ऐसा सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, there is no need. But it is not about the time frame that you spent with that. It's about how you are growing through that space. Every day was a learning. Lot of hurdles also. Lot of exams also. And lot of results in your favor also. And that's how you graduated, right? So slowly moving step by step each time. So for this process, neither I want to motivate you, neither demotivate you. It's just a process. If you do it, I can assure one thing about it. Your transition from this world to that world will be so amazing. As simple as that. In order to depict that, I'm going to tell you a story. Because I don't know a better way to make you understand how this transition can be. The greatest fear that anyone has is the fear of death. Nothing more than that. Then some people say, no, it is not the fear of death. It is the fear of dragging yourself till death. Because of the ailments of the body, शारीरिक पीड़ा, मानसिक पीड़ा, ये सारे चीजें मौत से भी भयानक है. Because what we have understood right now is death is just a momentary process. It will just happen like this, you are done. But what about the before process? ये डराता है हमको. It's not the performance on the stage. It is the preparation and stepping onto the stage that is fearful. But this process is going to be an absolute tremendous way of walking through that path fearlessly. Because when we talk about pain, when we talk about physical pain or mental pain, somehow we have come to an understanding that I am not the body, I am not the mind. But if I am not the body, I am not the mind, why I am feeling the pain? That means we have understood, but we have not transcended. I gave you the example of a mad person, right, on the Wednesday session, that he is still in this world, but not in this world yet anymore. But I don't want you to go mad. हो जाते हो कभी कभी, वो अलग बात है. You at times become that, that's a different story. But I don't want you to be going into that space in insanity, but to go into that space with complete awareness. You know what spirituality does to us? Spirituality, as per me, is nothing else but the spirit actualizing itself. The spirit realizing its true self. Means spiritual actuality. That should be spirituality. The true self of itself, it realizing that. Because if you realize that, अगर आपको ये पता चल जाता है कि आपका अस्तित्व जो आप मानते थे इस ब्रह्मांड में, जब आप अपने आप को स्वयं को जान लोगे, तब उसे शायद स्पिरिचुअलिटी कहा जाएगा. What is the difference between death of a regular person and a person who has walked on the path of spirituality? Very simple. For a regular person who has never delved into this path, for them the body is everything. उनके लिए शरीर ही सब कुछ है. Yes or no? Because all that they have ever experienced in this world is all was through the body only. जो कुछ भी उन्होंने सीखा, जाना, समझा, वो या तो मन या तो शरीर के जरिए था. So what happens to these people is when they die, suddenly when the Atma separates itself from the body, when the spirit separates itself from the body, they are not able to take it. Because the Atman was so lost in that body that it was feeling that it was the body. उसे लगता था कि मैं ही शरीर हूं. लेकिन अचानक it separates. It's like a shock. And due to this shock, without its understanding about its true self, what it does, it desperately wants to go back into the body. Are you understanding that? It desperately wants to get into the body, but in the Hinduism process, what we do, we burn the body. Why it is done that? It is done in that way so that that person that has a asakti, means attachment to this body, doesn't have the body to get into that as well. That is one way of making it realize that you are not this body. You see, it is burning in front of you. It's not the body. But despite that, some people are still so much of attached to that body without that realization is. At times you have seen like spirits possessing another body, right? What is that? That Atman is so desperate that it wants to get in somehow into some or other body. But we have seen there are some people, so those who are so crazy that they want the things right away, right now, this very moment. But some people are not that aggressive. So those who are not that aggressive but still not realizing about themselves, what they do? They wait for another body. And they come and take rebirth. But the ones, those who have walked on the path of spirituality, actualized themselves, realizing that this is not me. Even for a moment, if you have done that. Have you? Even in a glimpse of a second, you didn't know what happened. You were just sitting there. Means I said, you were sitting means the body was sitting there. And in that moment, something happens. You cannot give it a name. It's like a newborn child. And you give a name, any name that you want to give it. You call it an experience, you call it a realization, you call it. And it happens when you are least ready for it. Means you have been preparing and one fine day you say, this doesn't work. Or you say, I leave it. Whenever it has to happen, let it happen. You are just sitting. Might be talking with someone, and in that moment also it can happen. I'll tell you one simple example of that. Has it ever happened to anyone that you are looking at something but you don't know what you are looking at? But suddenly when you become conscious, You realize that you're looking at someone and that person is looking at you. Why that person is looking at me like this? Why? What happened to you in that moment? You are the same body, you are the same mind, you are the same you. But in that moment, were you there? You were not. But when you come back to that senses, अरे मैं ऐसे क्यों देख रहा हूं? Then you regret, अरे what that person might be thinking about me. No, that's your mind. But in that moment, tell me, where were you? One fine day, you entered into the temple, right? Might be at the right time with the right mindset. You just entered into a temple, you looked at the deity, and suddenly all the sounds went off. कोई शब्द नहीं है आपके चारों तरफ. There is a lot of noise around, but suddenly all the sounds vanish. You're just looking at it and you're just there. But even you don't know that you are standing there, or you are sitting there, or somebody pushed you. Nothing. You don't know that. What happened to you in that moment? Another space. A mother or a father, the first time when they hold their kid in their hand, what happens? You're just holding them. One way it is saying, this is it. But in that moment, what was your expression within yourself? It was a burst of happiness, yes or no? But that burst of happiness, वो जो खुशी की एक मतलब मानो कुछ फट गया हो आपके अंदर. Have you ever experienced again while holding your baby the next day might be 1 year, 10 years back, after 10 years? You won't feel that. You know why? Because that was a one-time event. One-time event, why? Because in that moment, you are completely conscious for that fraction of a second. And in that complete awareness, in that moment of a fraction of a second, the happiness that you got cannot be compared with anything else. Similarly, death can also be a same space. If you are completely aware of your death in that moment, and you are absolutely content within yourself, what will happen? It says, like whatever you are thinking at the last moment is what you are going to create in your next life. And if you are already content, I don't need anything, will you be cribbing for another body? क्या आप वेट करोगे कि और एक शरीर मिले और मैं उसके जरिए कुछ और एहसास करूं और कुछ महसूस करूं? ये no, right? Because you're already free from that. So what do you do by doing that? You already chose the path of liberation. Okay. So now the story. There was have you heard of Shaolin temples? Right? Oh, in old, but I believe there are there. The Shaolin temples, अगर आपने कुंफू वाले movies देखे होंगे, हाँ वो जो temple दिखाते हैं वही है. Those are called the Shaolin temples. In Shaolin temple, they not only meditate, they also learn the art of fighting. Okay, जैसे हमारे Sikh religion में है ना, वो they are means like a sage with a sword. Similarly, Shaolin monks are just like that. So there was one student with a teacher, very old teacher, and very, very dedicated one. गुरु अगर कह दिया कि ये लाइन है तो ये लाइन है. He was like that. Never questioned, never asked anything. All that his guru said, he will do it with complete dedication. Ya Mukta ji, Sant Sipahi. So He was this always, whatever the Guru said, he would do and learn everything as said. But he had not learned the complete art of fighting yet. Sorry. The complete art of fighting usko abhi tak pata nahi tha. But as he was very trustworthy, okay. So one day the Guru called him and said, I'm going to give you a task and you have to complete it. And I believe it is only you who can do it. He said, absolutely, if you say so. Then the Guru brings out a letter. And when this letter is given to this student, the Guru says, this is very, very important. ये बहुत जरूरी है. And you should go and give it to the person, the address that I am giving. ये address पे तुमको पहुंचाना है. And this cannot be opened by anyone else except that person. No one is allowed to open that. So you have to safeguard this. He says, okay, fine. And then the Guru says, please go, because many people's life depends on this. He starts right away, takes a horse, carries a sword, and starts riding. And he kept on riding until he was thirsty or the horse was a little tired. Because he was dedicated to give it as soon as possible. But then there was a bridge that has to be crossed. And on that bridge, there was a mad samurai. Do you know what a samurai is? Again, if you have seen Kung Fu movies, you know what a samurai is. Samurai is a person who holds that sword called as samurai. Samurai is a person who is not fearful of death, not fearful of anything in this life. But this was a kind of a little mad samurai. Why mad samurai? Because once he mastered his sword, he said, I am going to stand here on this bridge and fight with anyone that goes through this bridge. And until I defeat 100, I will not go from this place. पता नहीं ऐसे भी पागल मिल जाते हैं हमें जो अपने आप को ही वादा कर लेते हैं कि मैं ये करने जा रहा हूं. That I'm going to fight and win 100 wars, like 100 fights, and then only I will go from this place. And not only that, he not only fought, he killed. Almost 99 done. Last one. Who would be the last one? This person. So now he has to pass through that bridge. So the horse stepped on the bridge. The moment the horse stepped on the bridge, the samurai from the other side shouted at the Shaolin student, stop there. By stepping on this bridge, you have accepted a fight with me. Now just think of, you are going somewhere and suddenly somebody is standing out on the other side. He said, by stepping on the bridge itself, you have accepted to fight with me. Board to laga dena tha pehle. You should have kept a board outside so that we will know, like, we should not step on this bridge. He said, no, nothing doing. If you are also a Shaolin student, you come here. Now we have to fight. He says, but I have a greater work to do. He says, no greater work than fighting with me. I'm not going to leave you. But by looking at that samurai, the Shaolin student understood that I am of no match to this person. And he is going to kill me anyways. So he just asked for one thing. He said, You are a samurai, and I ask you for one thing. Can you just allow me to go back to my teacher and tell him that I was not able to deliver the letter? Can you please? And I promise you that I will come back and fight with you. Samurai says, okay, but I will be waiting for you here only. And the students writes back to the teacher. The teacher says and narrates the entire story to the teacher, and the teacher said, I cannot teach you right away how to fight with that samurai. I will arrange one more person who will deliver the letter, but I cannot make you the person who can fight with the samurai right away, because it takes years and years of practice. So the student says, yeah, by looking at him, it looks like I will die. At least tell me how to die without pain. The teacher says, I can teach you that. And then he said, is it going to be painful? The teacher said, what I'm going to teach you, if you accept that, it's not going to be painful. Then the student says, what is the way then? He says, when you go to the bridge, don't fight with him. Just raise your sword in the air. Close your eyes. Remember your meditation. Be in that space. And allow him to do what he does. And when you feel a coldness, बहुत एक ठंडा सा कुछ लगे तुझे, a very simple closely coming and slowly you feel something very cold touching you, accept that as your death and you will transcend. Don't fight with your death. Just wait for that a simple cold thing touching you and you are gone. No pain. He says, that's it. He says, that's it. The student goes, because he has never questioned his teacher. He said, if you say so, he goes. And now he sees the samurai still standing there. He says, so you came back? He said, yes, I kept my promise. He said, okay, so now get ready to fight with me. He says, okay. And he takes a posture. This Shaolin monk takes a regular posture, raises the sword, closes his eyes, and goes into meditation. In that moment, the samurai looks at this Shaolin student, and by looking at it, the calmness that he has on his face, the silence that that person carries, the fearlessness that he has, he could not believe it, because all the other persons, while struggling to save themselves, were fighting with him. This fellow was absolutely calm and quiet, because his guru said it is just going to be a touch of cold strike. That's it. And he was waiting to experience that cold strike on him. But by looking at this, the samurai became aware that this is not any regular guy. This is not just any regular person. Because a regular person will always be fearful. But he is not. The samurai came close to him, and by looking at his serenity, he dropped his sword and touched the feet of that Shaolin student. उसने अपनी तलवार छोड़ दी और उसके पैर छू लिया. And he says, "Oh monk, I have become a fighter. I now want to become a sage like you." मैंने युद्ध की कला तो सीख ली, लेकिन ये शांति की कला नहीं सीखी, इसलिए मेरे अंदर इतना कुछ चलता है, और मेरे अंदर वो जो तबाही मची हुई है, उसको लेके मैं बाहर के लोगों को परेशान करता हूं. I am so devastated, so distorted within myself that I am destroying the people outside. I know the art of sword. Now I want to know the art of being silent. Please take me as your student. Now let's see what are these characters. The samurai that was standing on the bridge, there is no other way to surpass that. You have to go through that bridge. The samurai that is standing with a sword in his hand might be death. The message that you are carrying with you, you don't know what that message is, but you are carrying a great message of the divinity. And it has to be delivered to a certain person. And at times, death appears before your message is delivered. But then what do? You go back to the person who gave you the message, means through whom the message came. Who was this guru? This guru was no one else, a guide that you have in your life. Then you go back that I was not able to deliver this message, but my death is approaching to me. मुझे पता ये नहीं चला कि मेरे जीवन का लक्ष्य क्या था. मुझे ये पता नहीं चला कि मेरे जीवन में मुझे क्या करना था. I didn't understood what I have to do through this life. I don't know what message was given to me. But I can see is death approaching to me. What should I do? What does the teacher said? Just raise your sword, close your eyes, and go back into the space of your meditation. And just wait for that cold strike. And if you just did that, what happens? Even death comes close to you, but throws away its sword and touches your feet, stating, जानते हो हार क्यों जाता है? उसके सामने मौत, क्योंकि उसे पता चल गया है कि वो आपको हरा नहीं सकता. Death has realized that it cannot defeat you. That's why death defeats itself in front of you. And now I'm going to teach you that art of raising your sword and standing in stillness with utmost happiness. Shall we? Everyone has seen a flower, right? Flower blooms. I can see behind Alivaji there must be few plants, yes. Let me ask you a very simple yet profound question. How long does a flower last? एक जो फूल होता है वो कितने समय के लिए खिलता है? सोचो एक बार और बोलो. Type it. How long? 1 or 2 days? Very good. Couple of days? Few days? So it's depending on the kind of flower it is. कुछ एक दिन के लिए खिलते हैं, कुछ 4-5 दिन रहते हैं, कुछ 8-10 दिन रहते हैं. Few days only, not more than that, right? But it does not stays for a long time. But have you seen a depressed flower? A cloud is very, very misshapen. Have you seen a depressed cloud? A tree might not be having leaves. All the leaves have been shed. Have you seen a depressed tree? See, in nature, nothing is depressed. Because everything is nature. In nature is expression. and we are not able to express ourselves. That's why we get depressed. Now look at this flower. It knows that it will just last few hours or a few days, but despite that it is not worried about. वो मुरझा जाएगा उसके बारे में नहीं सोचता है. वो कहता है मेरे पास अभी ये समय है और अभी मैं खिलूंगा. I might just fall down after a day or two, but why I will be worried about that? Because right now I have the power to bloom, and let me spread my beauty and spread my fragrance, and let me make somebody happy just by being that. जब एक छोटा सा पौधा, a small little plant which even cannot speak to you, has that kind of understanding, what kind of understanding should we have? हम तो कल क्या होगा, परसों क्या होगा, बच्चों का क्या होगा, पोतों का क्या होगा, परपोतों का क्या होगा, उनके बाद का क्या होगा, उनके बाद का क्या होगा. No, the grandparents, grandkids, great grandkids, great grandkids, and after that also. I say you bloom. When you bloom, you will realize that you have also given that power, that wisdom to your coming generations as well. So now the process. Shall we become a flower right now? Rather than waiting for the death, let us be just happy the way I am. I will fall someday, but I should not be waiting to fall. Because on that day, when people say you will fall, that would be the day of the great arise. जहां कोई एक नॉर्मल व्यक्तित्व गिर जाता है, वो दिन मेरे महा आरोहण का दिन होगा. आपको समझ में आता है आरोहण किसे कहते हैं? Ascending, not descending. When it is the day of descending, the death, D word है ना उसमें. The day of descending for people would be the great ascension for me, because I will rise to my full glory on that day and become who I am. Will you ascend or you will descend? If you are here, you should ascend. There is no dissension for you. There is no path for you. So the preparation, here it goes. Listen to this first, then we will do it practically as well. Okay? First and foremost thing, the first process. First, you should have a very, very vigorous body that is ready to go through that. शरीर उतना शक्तिशाली होना चाहिए, उसके अंदर उतनी ऊर्जा भरी रहनी चाहिए, इसके अंदर इतनी ताकत होनी चाहिए कि वो प्रोसेस कर जाए. Yes. So the first process of that. How to rejuvenate your own body and live in a healthy body in that. Process is very, very simple. Okay. For this process, you will be requiring a little heavy thing. Means एक छोटा सा कोई paper weight हो गया or something, a small little size that has a little weight on that. Okay, ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत ज्यादा weight चाहिए, नहीं, a little weight on that. Or a thick book will also work. Okay. This is the only requirement. But while doing this, you have to do it while lying down. इसे लेट के करना है आपको, बैठ के नहीं कर सकते इसे. Because this body is generally living on two kinds of intake. One is food, the other is oxygen. Breath, right? Generally what happens is because of we not taking the right kind of breath, we develop diseases. What is disease? Dis-ease means which is not in tandem, that is not at ease. And when you are not at ease, you are in disease. So in order to bring that balance of breath within yourself, this is going to be the process. Now, just for a moment, you breathe in. Don't change anything about your breath. Just breathe in and find out where is your breath going in depth. आपके अंदर सांस कहां तक जा रही है उसे बस देखो. Don't change anything about your breath. Just observe your breath for a moment. Okay. So now you realize till what your breath is going. See, for some people, they might just feel till the throat. Some people a little bit down, 4 inches down the throat. And for some people till the ribs. That's it. Regular breath. Yes or no? Now we will change this pattern. And mind you, whatever I'm going to say, it is not deep breathing. You don't have to change anything about your breath. You just lie down. आपको बस लेट जाना है. Then take both your hands, left hand on right hand. If you cannot find a weight, okay? अगर आपके पास weight नहीं है and you are not comfortable keeping a book. Middle finger, it should be on your belly button. Left hand middle finger should be on your belly button. आपके नाभि के ऊपर आपका बायां हाथ का बीच का जो अंगूठा है, लंबा अंगूठा जो है, it should be on that. And the right one should be on above it. So that your fingers, 2 fingers are down your navel point and 2 fingers are above your navel point. Clear hai? Okay. Then just apply a little bit pressure on that. छोटा सा, मतलब ऐसे दबा के नहीं रखना है उसे, just a little bit of pressure. If you have a paperweight or a book, you can even remove your hand and keep it on your navel point. Just keep it in such a way that the weight is balanced equally. और ज्यादा भारी चीज मत रखना, because फिर सांस लेने में तकलीफ हो जाएगी. Now when that object you have kept on your navel point, now just while you are lying down, just breathe. And only thing that you have to do is not to do deep breathing, but a regular breathing, but now change the focus of that breath to your navel point. आप जो सांस ले रहे हो, now you realized in this moment, like when I asked, just observe your breath, somebody were able to feel it till the throat, some a little bit down, some a little bit down. But from this moment on, when you are breathing, जब आप ये सांस ले रहे हो, focus on completely that the breathing is happening till the navel point. नाभि तक जा रहा है. Okay? Just this much. The awareness of bringing or changing the place of your breath to the navel point, directing it there. How long? Do it for 5 minutes. Do it for 10 minutes. Slowly, slowly, slowly increase it. Max 30 minutes, not more than that. It doesn't have a time. You can do it at any time. Slowly, slowly what will happen is you will remove that also. That weight जो आप रखे थे या जो हाथ रखे थे उसको भी आप हटा दोगे. But your focus will be completely on the navel point. Your breath should go and touch that. It's not deep breathing again. Only the focus should be changing. Okay. And then after some days, you will realize that even when you are walking, your breath is going till that space. नाभि तक पहुंच जा रहा है. This awareness itself, you know what happens? In this awareness, you shift your focus just from living to your creation point. After that, what happens is when you are breathing that way, your oxygenation intake increases. If your oxygenation increases, your brain gets more oxygen. When your brain gets more oxygen, it is at ease. When this is at ease, it will not let you go into disease. The regular issues of breathing problem, cold, cough, mental tension, BP, all this can be handled by that. I don't want you to stop your medications right away if you are having it. All that I'm saying is practice it. And the day you feel like it is working, check with your physician that this is happening. Now check if I need this medication anymore. But if you just do this simplest of the exercise, इसमें कुछ खोने के लिए नहीं है. All you are going to go or get is gain. And as I said, no, Navneet, if you start looking a little younger, part of process. If you start feeling more happier, part of process. If you start feeling more energetic, part of process. Because we have become so mechanical that the breathing is also happening mechanically. And when that mechanism breaks, even we are not aware of that. So this is a way of fixing the mechanism again. It doesn't matter what your age is. You can still rejuvenate your cells. You can rejuvenate your life. This is the first step. Can you do that? Those who are interested in looking young and feeling young, they will. And those who just want to be disease-free, they will. This will take care of many elements of your life. Just lying down for 5 minutes, increasing it slowly. Just focus on that. You will be a testimony that what all magic this did to you. आप ही आके बोलोगे मुझे. Because there are many people those who have been sending me messages, अरे ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, सर्दी बढ़ गई तो सांस रुक गई, सांस रुक गई तो सर्दी बढ़ गई. You just do this simple process. No pranayam, nothing. It's as simple as that. Just changing the focus. You know why? Because you were connected with your mother's womb, and that was your feeding station. As a little child, were you thinking of growing old? Were you feeling old? Were you a disease? No. You were as if a newborn, connecting back to your source. And this time, it's not your mother's womb. You are not connected with that umbilical cord. You will be connected to the universe through this. And Mukta ji, we say no, Krishna ने 16,000 नारियों से शादी की थी. वो नारियां नहीं थे, नाड़ियां थी. 16,000 नाड़ियां, that is connecting again at your navel point. कृष्ण वो है जो अपने 16,000 नाड़ियों के ऊपर बैठा था. Means he has mastered all those 16,000 nadis. I want you to become that Krishna. Just this simple process. As simple as this. Because the more and the more you focus on that, you master it. All these days, you didn't know what all those people are doing in your own body. Right? वो आपके अंदर क्या कर रहे थे आप ही को नहीं पता था. Focus, because your gut. There are two things, right? There are three kinds of minds actually. एक है ये जो ऊपर बैठा है. One that you through which you think. There is another that generates emotions, your heart, which is more powerful than that. But more powerful than that is the gut. because gut is also a brain, but it has been untouched yet. इसीलिए कहते हैं ना gut feeling. Your emotions might turn you around, your thoughts can put you into problem, but your gut feeling always works correctly because it has not learned the art of judging yet. It is untouched. तो अभी तक शुद्ध है, अशुद्धता नहीं छुई उसे, इसीलिए ये सत्य बोलता है. You know, this is very active in the animal kingdom. A deer, will it ever go near to a tiger? No. Why? Because its gut feeling says it is going to kill me. उसको एक vibration है उसके अंदर. He is aware of that vibration. Because of that vibration, it will not go near a tiger, or else it would be a home delivery kind of stuff. Without order. So, you start with the simplest of the process. I will add many things towards it. But this simple process can bring a drastic change in your ailments of the body. Even clarity of mind, thought process शांत हो जाएंगे. Okay? Next step. Again, while lying down. एक बार शरीर स्वस्थ हो गया, means ये संसार के लिए ready for this world. A fit body, fit mind. Now let's prepare for the next life. Next wife नहीं बोला मैंने, next life बोल रहा था. So, even not next life, it's transcendence of this life itself. In this, you will start this process with imagination. Imagination का process होगा. While building this imagination, there will be a creation. Then, when there is a creation, slowly that creation will fructify. वो एक चरम सीमा तक पहुंचेगा. And when it goes to the fructification of process, the fruit will ripe. फल पकेगा. And when the fruit ripes, it is filled with juice and it is filled with its sweetness. परिपक्वता आ जाएगी. And that day, the fruit will fall. But that fruit will fall not as a sour fruit, but as a fully grown परिपक्व होके, full of sweetness. Falling where? Again to its space from where it started its journey, and it will become that. So during this, like there is a process through which it takes time to completely fructify. So आप भी जब ये process शुरू करोगे, you will start with imagination. That imagination will convert itself into creation. That creation will come into a stage of fructification. And on that day, when the fructification happens, the fruit will fall. On that day, when the fruit is fall, it is whole and complete. It holds the complete essence of the tree within itself. You will be holding the entire essence of your life within yourself. And that day, when the samurai appears, you'll be standing still happily. And then the god of death will bow down in front of you. That I have mastered the art of killing, but I saw the master who is beyond death. Oh Shiva, crossover. So you are lying down. You did with that breathing process. You're just lying down there. Then, how to detach from your body? Because I said in the beginning, a regular person who doesn't know the art of transcending the body gets a shock when it is dead. But now I'm going to teach you the art of dying while being alive. जीते जी कैसे मर जाएं और मर के वापस कैसे जी जाए. Learning the art of death while alive, winning over death and coming back to life. Samurai touched the feet of the Shaolin student. Did he kill him? No. Similarly, the same way. We will go onto that bridge. We will see that samurai standing. We will look at it. We will close our eyes. We will be in such a stillness. We will wait for the samurai to strike. But unfortunately, what will happen is the samurai will touch our feet and let us go again back. So while lying down, you close your eyes, focus from a starting point of your feet. Okay. Look at your feet or bring your consciousness towards your feet. Yeah, Muktaji, just by lying down, you can start the process. Okay. So I'm starting the process like this is how you have to do it. Focus on the tip of your toe. आप पैरों की उंगली के जो सबसे अग्रभाग है उसके ऊपर ध्यान दें. मानो there are lights inside your body. Bulbs are burning. Lighted up bulbs are there. You can imagine that कि आपके अंदर बल्ब जल रहे हैं. It's just like this. Every night when you go to sleep, what do? All the rooms are lighted up with bulbs. You close one by one. You switch off it, right? One by one. You switch it off and you finally go into your bedroom and then you finally switch the light off. It is going to be the same process. But instead of outside, it's going to be within you. आपके अंदर बल्ब जल रहे हैं, okay? All the bulbs are lighted up within yourself. Now, what do? Starting from your tip of the toe. You imagine the bulbs are going off, means switching off. Top, top, top. One by one. From the tip of the toe, one by one, it is getting darker. वो lights बंद होते जा रहे हैं और धीरे धीरे ऊपर की तरफ आ रहा है. Slowly the lights are closing down. All the bulbs will go off and final bulb will be go off like top. Did you realize even without doing the process, just I said it and I just did like this, what happened to you? You're already silent. See, your listening power has gone down of other things except my voice. Check. Cold strike. Can you see how powerful is it? So you do this process. Then what you have to do? The very next moment, this is going to be funny, but don't be fearful. Take it as a funny event, not a fearful event. Okay. All the lights gone. Now see, few people are sitting by your side and crying. देखा, मैंने कहा ना, this is going to be a funny moment. Which could have been a dreadful moment will become a funny moment for you. Just imagine like few people, all your near and dear ones are sitting and crying around you. Now you look at them and think why they are crying. Now suddenly you realize that they are sitting by the side of your body and crying. In that moment, just look at it. I am still here. Why are they crying? Then you see, they take your body away. They take your body away. Ram Naam Satya hai. Then they take it to the place where they will burn it. You're still looking at it. उसको चिता पे लेटा देते हैं. Then somebody puts a fire. But you're still there. So what's going on? But you're still there. The so-called your body is burning in front of you. You're still there, looking at it. Watch until it is completely burnt. Check if you are attached with your body now. Can't you see something is actually squeezing itself out? इतना कर लोगे? I will give you the next steps once you start doing this. This in itself will be a liberation for you. मैंने कहा ना, it will start with imagination part. इतना भी अगर 5-10 मिनट के लिए कर लिए ना, Sashi ji, we call it is a stage rehearsal, right? So that when you are on the stage, you are not fearful. ये stage rehearsal है कि यही होने वाला है. This is only going to happen. But let me be prepared for what is going to happen. And if you are prepared, already well prepared, और जब वो होगा, तकलीफ होगी. ये पता यही होने वाला है, चलो छोड़ो. The same place which would have descended you will be the great ascension for you. तब नाचना काली की तरह. घोर घोरो सवार उड़े मीन्स शव के ऊपर नाचने वाली. एक बात बताओ, did you meditated? Did you did any process? How do you feel? आभा जी? लगता है मुक्ति अभी मिल गई. I'm already liberated. अरे you are liberated. Thinking you are in bondage. कौन बांधा है आज तक आपको? आपने खुद को बांध रखा है. Remember, like one day one student told his teacher, like, this world is filled with Maya and every time Maya catches hold of me, so what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? How can I get rid of it? The teacher said, today I'm not in the mood. I will tell you the answer some other day. Okay. But tell me, huh? He said, yes, I will tell you. Next day morning, they go to take a bath in the river. They came back. And while coming back, there was a dead tree lying on the street. एक पुराना दरख्त पड़ा था. The teacher, as if attracted towards the tree, goes and holds it tightly. वो पेड़ को जोर से पकड़ लेता है जाके और चिल्लाने लगता है and starts shouting, "Oh, it is holding me tightly, it is holding me tightly." The student could not understand what happened. शिष्य को समझ में ही नहीं आया क्या हो क्या रहा है. He says, "This is a dead tree and it pulled my teacher towards itself and is now holding tightly and my teacher is shouting." He went to relieve him. जाता है उसको छुड़ाने के लिए, नहीं छुड़ा पाता. Teacher is holding tightly. "Oh, it is holding me so tightly, it is holding me so tightly." The student is not able to understand क्या हो रहा है, what's going on, why the tree is holding my teacher so tightly. After some time, that fellow gets some hint. He says, "Yes, he is doing all the drama here. How can a dead tree catch hold of you? It's you who is holding it." He says, "That's exactly what you asked me. It's not Maya who is holding you, it is you who is holding the Maya. No one has bound you. It is you who have bounded yourself." बांधा किसी ने नहीं है, आप ही ने अपने आप को बांध रखा है. क्या करना चाहिए? और नवनीत जी लोग आके पूछते हैं, माया से कैसे बचूं? मैं बोला छोड़ दे. पकड़ रखा है इसलिए प्रॉब्लम है. You are holding it so tightly, that's why there is a problem. And if you are holding it so tightly, can you move with that tree? वो वैसे ही मरा पड़ा है, उसको पकड़ के रहते हो और कहते हो मैं कहीं जा नहीं सकता. अरे उसे पकड़ रखे हो इसलिए नहीं जा सकते. नहीं नहीं बहुत सारे काम है मुझे. I have so much of work to do in this world. Yes. हरी भाई, there were 3 lizards. 3 छिपकलियां थी. एक गरीब के घर में रहती थी, दूसरा एक बिजनेसमैन के घर में, तीसरा एक राजा के घर में. गरीब की छिपकली जो थी वो हमेशा घूमती रहती थी कहीं पे भी, उसे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. जस्ट रोम्स अराउंड एनीवेयर, पार्टी करता था. He has only one more friend, that is a businessman का घर का जो था. He also at times joins him. But that one lizard, who was the lizard in the wall of the palace, he will never join any party. One fine day, just through the window they were talking. "ए तू कभी आता नहीं है." He said, "कैसे आऊं? जैसे हम जाते हैं तू वैसे आ जा. You can also come as we are going." "नहीं नहीं, I cannot go." "अरे why you cannot come?" "No no, if I go, the roof of the palace will fall. I am holding it." समझ में आया? हाँ वही है. सबको लगता है मैंने ही पृथ्वी को अपने सर पे पकड़ रखा, मैं अगर कहीं गया तो गिर जाएगा. छिपकली, कोई कुछ गिरने वाला नहीं है. हमसे पहले भी कई आए कई गए, ये ऐसे कई आएंगे चले जाएंगे, ये ऐसे ही घूमता रहेगा. Don't be that golden lizard, okay? एटलीस्ट वो गरीब घर का बेटर है, घूम फिर के पार्टी तो करता है. पंकज जी दे, एक इंग्लिश में कहावत है, when it started raining suddenly, जब अचानक बारिश होने लगी, all those were searching for a shelter, those who had notes, and all those who had coins were dancing in the rain. जब अचानक बारिश हुई, वो सारे लोग एक छत ढूंढने लगे जिनके पास नोट्स थे, और जिनके पास कॉइन्स थे वो बारिश में नाच रहे थे. क्योंकि जिसके पास नोट है वो तो भीग जाएंगे ना भाई. The people, those who have only currency notes, that will get wet, so they cannot enjoy the rain. They just get wet in rain. Some people enjoy the rain and some people just get wet. कुछ लोग बारिश का मजा लेते हैं और कुछ लोग बारिश में भीग जाते हैं. कुछ लोग संसार का मजा लेते हैं, कुछ लोग संसार से भीग जाते हैं. आप क्या करते हो? Do you dance in life or you are searching for a shelter? क्योंकि करेंसी नोट भीग जाएंगे ना भाई, फिर क्या करोगे? समझ लीजिएगा. I think that was enough. हाँ, आभा जी, आपको देख के लगता भी आप नाचते हो. ऐसे ही नाचते रहो. इट इज गुड. ऐसे लोगों की जरूरत है. थैंक यू स्नेहा जी. Now you start with this two simple process. And then you see, once you slowly master these, few more steps will be added to that. And that day you will realize, when stepping on that step, on that bridge, before that you will live a life like a monk. Amazing life, happily. And on the day when you stand on that bridge, even the death will bow down to you. This is not just a claim, it's a declaration. So thank you everyone for your time. Thank you everyone for your choosing. Mukta ji wants to say hi to everyone. Let me ask her to unmute. So Mukta ji, can you able to unmute yourself? Just try this.
प्रणाम गुरुजी.
प्रणाम.
कैसे हैं आप?
मैं बिल्कुल वैसा ही हूँ, मौत को हराने के लिए तैयार.
Yes. Guruji.
Yes.
I was listening to you, but I was still lying down only so long. So it was an amazing experience. I'm missing, what is the first process?
First process कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ अपना ध्यान नाभि तक लेके जाना है कि सांसें नाभि तक पहुंच रही है. सांसों को खींच के नाभि तक लेके नहीं जाना है. Just the focus is you put a weight on your navel point and just observe that the breath is going and touching to that navel point. उतना ही.
And just keep our hand just like this.
Either you keep your hand like this if you don't have a weight. तो क्या होगा, इससे थोड़ा प्रेस करके रखे तो भी आपको वो ध्यान लग जाएगा कि यहां तक सांसें आ रही है.
नहीं, ध्यान तो लगा प्रोसेस में.
तो इसी को प्रैक्टिस करते रहना है अभी.
तो
बिकॉज ये एक ऐसा हो जाना चाहिए मुक्ता जी, that even without keeping any weight on that, even having a focus on that, the breath automatically reaches to that space. Okay. Second process. Yes, the second process.
What is the second process?
What is the second process? The second process is imagination.
हाँ, अच्छा, ठीक है. Okay.
Got it?
I heard it, I did it, but I didn't know it was two separate things. So I thought I missed it.
It is just, you can do it at one go.
Yes.
It won't take like 10-15 minutes of your time, but slowly increase the movie time.
No, I'm feeling so energetic now, actually.
You, देखो, all the things that I say in this way, it appears very simple. It will appear very, very simple to you. लेकिन मुझे पता है ना कि कैपेसिटी कितनी है.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा नहीं. आई वॉन्ट टू
तो
शेयर वेरी
उस
स्मॉल थिंग.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
3-4 दिन पहले मेरी हरी भाई से बात हुई थी. तो मैं उनको कह रही थी कि मैं कभी कभी आजकल नहीं अटेंड कर पा रही हूँ, तो बाद में देखती हूँ यूट्यूब में, क्योंकि मुझे एलर्जी और ये सब होता है ना. आई फील सो एम्बैरेस्ड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. और ही टोल्ड मी वन थिंग, तो फिर क्या करना है. एंड आई वाज वंडरिंग क्या करना है. मैंने कहा सब कर रही हूँ, एंड सब चक्रा भी समझ में आता है और सब कुछ. तो आई मीन होलिस्टिकली भी एंड मेडिसिनल सब कर रहे हैं और समझ भी लगता है कि कुछ. बट टुडे आई एम एबल टू रिलेट दैट द वे ही सेड, तो क्या करना है. तो आज आपने दे दिया कि क्या करना है.
धन्यवाद बोलिएगा
आपको.
विजय जी को.
और गुरुजी, आज ही के दिन हम अवतरण हुए थे कई साल पहले.
तो
आज
फिर से
हमारा
हैप्पी बर्थडे.
और आपकी
नहीं
खुद
देखा, आप
कैसी
अवतरित हुए थे, अब से आरोहण कीजिएगा.
आरोहण करेंगे. यस यस गुरुजी. So you have given a beautiful gift to me today.
द गिफ्ट ऑफ डेथ एंड बीइंग अलाइव.
Yes.
तो मृत्युंजय मिल गया आपको.
Preparing to die with energy.
नॉट प्रिपेयरिंग टू डाई.
नहीं मतलब, बट जो भी, वो उसके लिए आपने प्रिपेयर भी कर दिया और
नहीं,
एनर्जेटिक
प्रिपरेशन फॉर असेंशन.
असेंशन. ठीक है, करेक्ट करेक्ट.
वो वर्ड याद रखिएगा, आरोहण.
आरोहण. यस. असेंशन. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you Mukta ji, and on behalf of this entire family, we all wish you a very very happy birthday, and may this be the last.
Mukta ji, happy birthday.
Thank you, Hari Bhai. Hari Bhai, I got the answer through Guruji, what we were talking. He has given a mantra today.
Yes, yes.
And I also thank my sister who brought me to all such a beautiful family. If not, I would have been lost only.
Sisters are for that only,
She's always held my hand and taken me along, always. So
thank you Mukta ji, and have a wonderful day, wonderful life, not to return back.
yes Guruji. आपके साथ है तो वो तो है ही नहीं. इधर भी आप है, उधर भी आप है, तो फिर क्या. एकदम मस्त.
Thank you.
Yes, Sudha ji, please unmute us, sir.
प्रणाम गुरुदेव.
प्रणाम सुधा जी.
अभी आपने फर्स्ट प्रोसेस में बताया कि लेफ्ट हैंड की बड़ी फिंगर नाभि के ऊपर.
ओके.
और जो 2 फिंगर हैं वो उसके साइड में या उसके ऊपर होनी चाहिए.
साइड में. नॉर्मल हाथ आप ऐसे रखते हो ना, तो ऐसे ही होगा. समझो ये नाभि का पॉइंट है, तो ये इसके ऊपर रहा. ये 2 उंगली ऊपर रहती है, 2 उंगली नीचे रहती है. ऊपर मतलब साइड में ही.
मींस इस तरह से.
नहीं, ये देखिए, अगर ये मैं रखूंगा इसके ऊपर, तो ऐसे रखूंगा ना, बस इतना ही है और कुछ नहीं है. ओके. थैंक यू सुधा जी.
Sneha ji, please unmute us, sir.
So Sneha ji must be the friend of
Revati, yeah.
Revati ji. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Sneha ji,
Guruji got a very good experience, and it is जीते जीते मरना सीख लिया, मरते मरते जीना सीख लिया.
वो स्नेहा जी गाना है ना, हंसते हंसते रोना सीखो, रोते रोते हंसना. So that's how it goes on.
Too good.
If you learn the art of both.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for being here, and welcome to this family.
Thank you.
So with this, with a lot of smile, I have never seen people smiling so much listening about their death. Like enjoying, right? मजे आने लगे हैं आपको. मतलब तो कब होगा बोल के ऐसा लग रहा है. नहीं, जब होगा तब होगा. तैयारी मरने की नहीं है, तैयारी जीने की है. डर भगाना था उस चीज का, एंड यू डिफीटेड डेथ। बोलो वाह, तू भी आ। That will be a day of my ascension. Remember that word. Okay. So thank you everyone again. With this, we come to a close to this session. See you again on Wednesday. Till then, practice what has been taught.